Yeah, hi friends, my name is Philip Chandan and welcome to my channel Energy and Environment Education. Friends, this is the first chapter of the book 1 of Energy Manager or Energy Auditor exam. That is the chapter is Energy Scenario, and this video is made for those aspirants who are looking forward to take exam in this year or in coming years. I have tried to simplify all those points which are important for the examination point of view, all those questions which can come in exam and which have already come in different examinations earlier. So those points only I'm going to highlight here and which will help you to prepare your exam in a better way. So hopefully this video will help you and more or less will be benefited by somehow or the other through my effort, through my endeavor. So let's start the video, friends. Now, as far as the content is concerned, friends, I'm going to discuss all these points. Basically, start with the different types of energies, then Indian energy scenario, energy intensity, purchasing power parity, that is the triple P, energy pricing, energy security, energy conservation, and its importance. So, all these topics I'm going to discuss in this particular video, friends, and these are very important topics as far as the examination is concerned. A lot of questions you may face uh, from these topics in the examinations, in coming examinations. And before I proceed, I would like to highlight you one important point for you to understand and for you to, for examination point of view, which is very important for you to understand. That is, basically in this chapter, you will not face too many numerical type questions. You will not find number of formulas here. But this chapter is very much important for as far as the objective type questions are concerned and as far as the short answer type questions are concerned. You will find number of questions from this chapter in earlier examination also which have come basically for as far as the objective and the short answer questions are concerned, friends. So please understand these points and also go through the entire video that I'm going to highlight basically all the important points that can come in the examination and which have already come in the previous examination also. So for this point of view also this particular video is very important for you to understand, friends. Now, as far as the short answer type questions are concerned, these 3 points are very important for you to understand. The first one is the primary energy and secondary energy. Second one is the commercial energy and non-commercial energy. Third one is the renewable energy and non-renewable energy. Basically, you may find that the questions like the difference between the primary energy and secondary energy and give some examples. Also, you may find some questions like difference between the commercial and non-commercial energy. Explain them briefly and with an example. Also, you may also find questions based on renewable energy and non-renewable energy and also explain them briefly with an example. So you may either find arbitrary questions where might be they may ask you to uh, uh, give the answer like which is the primary energy or secondary energy or commercial energy, non-commercial energy. They may give you some examples. So you may be asked to tick the correct answer, or maybe they may ask you to only differentiate it with an example for all these type of energies. So these three type of energies, I mean primary energy, secondary energy differences, commercial, non-commercial energy differences, and renewable energy, non-renewable energy differences are very much important for you to understand, which I'm going to explain you in coming slides. Also, one important formula is here, ton of oil equivalent. So basically, you must remember this value. They may ask you as a objective questions. That is, what is the value of ton of oil equivalent (TOE). So this is the entire formula, or you can say the value which must be very much remembered by you during the exams, friends. So you may face some questions on arbitrary questions from this particular formula. So this is very important for you to understand. So let's start with the primary energy and secondary energy differences and the examples of each of them. So primary energies are those the energies that are either found or stored in nature. This is the first point that you must remember about the primary energy. So when they ask you to explain the primary energy, this is the first point. Second point is common primary energy sources are the coal, oil, natural gas, and biomass, such as wood. So these are the different examples of common primary energy sources. So you may be asked to define primary energies and also give examples of primary energies. So these are the coal, oil, and natural gas. Biomass are the different examples of primary energy. Other primary energy sources available include nuclear energy from radioactive substances, thermal energy stored in Earth's interior, and potential energy due to Earth's gravity. This is also important point for you to understand about the primary energy. And primary energy sources are mostly converted into industrial utilities into secondary energy sources, for example, coal, oil, or gas, converted into steam and electricity. So, coal, oil, or gas are the primary energy, and when they're converted into different forms like steam and electricity, so steam and electricity are the secondary energy. So, this is the difference between the primary energy and the secondary energy, and the differences, and also the examples of each of them. So, for primary energy, you have coal, oil, natural gas, biomass. For secondary energy, you have the steam, electricity, etc. This is the important points that you must remember, friends, as far as the example is concerned. Again, as far as commercial energy and non-commercial energy is concerned, the energy sources that are available in the market for a different price are known as commercial energy, which are traded basically. All the energies which are traded in the market are the commercial energies. Commercial energy forms the basis of industrial, agricultural, transport, and commercial development in the modern world. Energy sources that are not available in the commercial market for a price are classified as non-commercial energy. So those energies which are traded in the market, available in the market, are the commercial energy, and those energies which are not traded in the market, not available in the market, not sold in the market, are the non-commercial energies. So this is the difference between the commercial and non-commercial energy. So non-commercial energy sources include fuels such as firewood, cattle dung, agricultural waste, which are traditionally gathered and not bought at a price used especially in rural households. So this type of energies you will not find available in the market, not traded in the market, not sold in the market. So these are the energies are the non-commercial energy, and those energies like suppose that are traded in the market, sold in the market, and those energies are called the commercial energies. So this is the basic difference between the commercial and non-commercial energies, and the different examples of each of them. So you must remember all these examples and the difference between the two type of energies, friends. Again, the renewable energy and non-renewable energy. So they may ask you to differentiate between the two type of energies and also to give examples of each. So renewable energy is energy obtained from sources that are essential, inexhaustible. So these type of energies are the renewable energy. Examples of renewable energy are the wind power, solar power, geothermal energy, tidal power, and hydroelectric power. So all these type of energies are the renewable energy, which is can be renewed again and again. The most important feature of renewable energy is that it can be used without the release of harmful pollutants. So it's a very important valid point about the renewable energy. And non-renewable energy is a conventional fossil fuels, coal, oil, and gas, which are likely to deplete with time. So basically, all those energy which can be renewed, like the wind, solar, geothermal, tidal, these type of energies can be renewed again and again, and this is not going to exhaust in the coming years or in coming time, so it will remain present many years. So these type of energies are the renewable energy, and these energies are not so much polluting in nature, so it's not creating any pollution for you. So those type of energies are renewable energy. While just it reverse, you see the non-renewable energy, these type of energies are really going to deplete in coming years because basically these are the fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas, and also these are the polluting in nature. So unlike the renewable energy, non-renewable energy creates pollution. So this is the basic difference between the two types of energies and the examples of each of them. These are the important points for you to remember, friends, as far as the example is concerned. Now the global primary energy reserves. So you must remember, first of all, see this data is an old data. It's not the new data. So, but now you need not uh, explain or try to mug up the current data, because whatever it is given in the books, that is only important for you to understand, and you not Google it or try to bring out the new data from your side. So whatever it is given in the book, that is important for you. The questions are going to come from those data only. Like suppose they may ask you how much is the USA had the largest share of global reserve. For example, if in case of coal, the global reserve of USA is 25.4%. So it is an old data, may not be the correct figure right now, but followed by Russia, China, India was fourth in the list with 8.6%. This is the old data. It's not a new data, but as far as Johnson concerned, you have to learn this data only. You have to remember this data only, and the question will be asked on this data only. So do not might be like suppose India was fourth in the list at that time, may not be correct now. Might be just third or second rank, or maybe sixth rank also, or fifth rank also. So this data can vary from the present condition, but you have to remember the old data only, and the exams and questions also coming to from those data only. So please do not try to Google it and get the new data, and the answers will be wrong in that case. Similarly, in the oil case also, the global proven oil reserves were estimated to be 1.47 billion barrels by the end of 2003. Just you see the data is of 2003. So now if you see, the figure will be different as it was earlier, but the problem is that if you consider the current data, and then might be like Saudi Arabia had the largest share of the reserves within, is almost 23%. Now this 23% may have changed now. Also maybe Saudi Arabia may not be also the largest shareholder. So this data will vary from the current data at the present time. So you do not consider the present data, whatever data it is given earlier in the book, that only you consider. So when it comes into examination, please do not get confused and not tick mark with the new one, new data, updated data. Only tick whatever it is given in the exam, and those type of questions only you solve it in the updated question difference. Similarly, with the gas, you see the global proven gas reserve was estimated to be 176 trillion cubic meters by the end of 2003. The same Federation had the largest share. So you need not remember all this data. Basically, the important ones I have highlighted here, which you must remember. Instead of these data, also number of other figures and data are given in the book and chapter. So need not go through all the data and then the figures. But yes, some of them you need to remember, especially the, like suppose which is having the largest share of the reserve. This type of questions can most probably come in the examination. So like Russian Federation had the largest share of the reserve with almost 27% in case of gas. So you must remember this type of questions, friends. World oil and gas reserves are estimated at just 45 years and 65 years respectively. Coal is likely to last a little over 200 years. So this type of figures may be asked as a objective questions, so that you remember basically when you solve the objective questions in the examination, friends. This may come, and this is very important for you to understand and for also to remember all these figures. Similarly, the global primary energy reserves and commercial energy production. So now this part of chapter, friends, basically like coal. In case of coal, three types of coals are there. So this is very important for you to understand the name of the three type of coals and briefly explain all of them. So I'm not going to explain here right now, but these type of questions can come in the examination. Earlier also it has come in the examination. Like please briefly explain the different types of coals. Those type of questions is really important for you to understand and can come in the examination. Also, the formation of coal, how the coal is formed. Briefly explanation on this type of question also can come in the examination. So when you read the chapter, please go through these points. If these are very important points, the two important points as far as the coal is concerned. First one is the formation of coal, how the coal is formed. A brief explanation may be important for you. Also, the types of coals. So briefly explain them. This type of question also can come in the examination, friends. And if you see the pie chart here, the coal reserves, like India how much it has, Australia how much it has. So all this type of questions also can come in the examination, so you must remember. Also one important point, if you see the reserves by production, that is R by P. This RP ratio is very important for you to understand, because this type of questions can come in the examination. So like if the reserves remaining at the end of the year are divided by the production in that year, result is the length of the time the remaining reserves would last if production were to continue at that level. So basically this reserves by production R by P ratio is very important. So they may ask you to briefly explain what is R by P ratio. It's a short definition which is given here. You must go through this definition. Also maybe they may ask you to explain this or by previously, friends. So please remember this point. It's very important for you to understand as far as the examination is concerned. Similarly, friends, the top 10 coal producers in million tons. I mean, you may be asked to name the countries, top 5 countries or top 10 countries which have the maximum coal production in capacity. So, like as far as this chart is concerned, here it is highlighted. China tops the chart. Then USA, the India, Austria, Russia are the major 5 countries which have the most maximum top coal production. But this figure may be changed now at present. So again I'm repeating you, whatever figure it is given in the book in the chapter, that will be considered as a final figure. Do not confuse it and do not google it as the current figure and put it in the exam, so you may get the answer incorrect. So whatever questions you may be asked, the answer will be based on the what figures that is given in the chapter, friends. So ranking wise, like suppose if it is China at the top position at that time, may not be currently, or maybe also. So, but whatever it is given in the book, that is your final answer for the question, friends. So please do not confuse and put the same answer whatever it is given in the book, friends. And same way with the oil producing countries. So you see Saudi Arabia has the maximum, then Russia, then USA, then Iran, China, likewise. So what this is the answer. So if they ask you which country has the highest or the top oil producing country in the world, so Saudi Arabia will be your answer, whatever may be the current position. But this is the answer that is highlighted in the chapter, so that only will be answered by you also, friends. If you suppose, for example, maybe it's not correct, but still, if you see that if Russia is now at the first position, Saudi Arabia is second position, but earlier it was during that time it was Saudi Arabia was the first position. So if you write here Russia instead of Saudi Arabia, your answer will be incorrect, friends, because this figure and these important figures are taken long back, and that only is your final answer. You need not confuse with the current or present data. Please do not mix with the present data, friends. Whatever data it is given in that time in the chapter in the book, that was only your correct data, friends. For the time being, you need to understand. And also for this part of chapter is very important, natural gas, because number of times the questions have come from this part of the chapter. That is, they may ask you to briefly explain natural gas and its various components, and also they may ask you uh, to briefly explain the natural gas process, how it is extracted, and those things, whatever it is written in the book, that is important for you. So please read this part of chapter thoroughly, and also I mean, the natural gas reserves. I mean, which country has the maximum reserves, then followed by the other country. So this pie chart also is important for you. Like suppose if you see here, Russia has 23% of reserves, then Saudi Arabia has 4%, Iran has 16%. So these figures are important for you to understand and to even remember it. You may not be asking all the figures. Maybe they may ask you the country which is having the highest natural gas reserves. So you have to name the Russia, and this is very important for you to understand, friends. So this part of chapter, please go through thoroughly in the book, in the chapter, and we may face number of questions in different ways from this part of chapter, friends. Global primary energy consumption. So if you see the chart here, coal is 3304 million tons of oil equivalent, 29% is of coal, then you have hydroelectricity, nuclear you have, oil you have, natural gas you have. So this pie chart is also important. So they may ask you as a percentage wise also, okay, how much is the coal percent, how much is the nuclear percent, and how much is the natural gas percent, etc. So this pie chart is important for you to understand. That's why I highlighted here. Please remember the figures. This may come in the exam in different ways, friends. As far as the sector-wise energy consumption in India is concerned, so like agriculture is 16.76 energy consumption in terms of MTOE, million tons of oil equivalent, and 7% as a percentage. Industry you see 45%, transport you see 18%. So these are different percentage. It's a old data, 2007 based data. It's not exactly the same in the present scenario, but you have to remember again the same data, whatever it is given in the book, in the chapter, and the questions will be based on those data only. You do not go through the Google it and Google it and take the current data, and the answer will be wrong in that case, friends. So agriculture you see here 7%, that is the correct answer. So if they ask you, okay, how much is the percent of agriculture as a sector wise energy consumption, so you need to answer 7%. If you maybe now it is 10%, for example, so if you write that 10%, the answer will be wrong, friends. So this is very important for you to understand, and this is number of questions you may face from this part of the chapter also, friends. Now the two important terms are, that is important for you. The first one is the energy intensity, the other one is the purchasing power parity. Number of times the questions have come from this part of the chapter, and these 2 points they have asked you to explain what is energy intensity all about. uh, Also they have asked you in the number of times the questions have come from the purchasing power parity. Basically they ask as a brief short brief answer based questions, or maybe they may ask you to briefly explain them, these two important points, the energy intensity and purchasing power parity. Also, you may face these type of questions as a part of long answer questions where one numerical or two numericals will be there, and this will be added with this type of short answer type questions, friends. So as far as the energy intensity is concerned, it is a ratio between the gross inland consumption of energy and the gross domestic product, that is GDP. The formula is EI equals to FC by GDP. This is an important formula that you should remember, where EI equals to energy intensity, FC is the total final consumption, and GDP is, that is gross domestic product. So maybe they may give you these figures, and only you need to calculate the energy intensity. This formula is very important you to understand and to remember also, friends. So this is only formula. Basically, you may be asked questions from this part of chapter. Also, the purchasing power parity is important. So I have just presented here a short video on purchasing power parity. Maybe you may go through the video. This will help you to understand what is triple P of purchasing power parity all about, friends. So let's watch the video, friends.
Purchasing power parity. In order to understand what purchasing power parity or PPP is, let's first see what purchasing power is. Purchasing power simply means the amount of goods and services you can buy with a certain amount of money. For instance, if before you were able to buy 5 chocolates with €5 but now with the same €5 you can only buy 4 chocolates, your purchasing power has declined. The second thing you need to know to understand PPP is the law of one price. It pretty much says that one good in one country should have the same price as an identical good in another country when converting into different currencies. Therefore, the purchasing power of two currencies should be the same for the identical products. Purchasing power parity is based on the law of one price and refers to situation where your income has the same purchasing power in all countries. Hence, given that PPP holds and all prices are equal, a person should be able to purchase with his, her income the same basket of goods everywhere, no matter what currency he uses. There are two versions of purchasing power parity, one is absolute PPP and the other one is relative PPP. Absolute PPP says that the same product in different countries should be equal. So let's say that one pizza in US costs $3.80 and the same pizza in Italy costs €3.45. Then, according to the law of one price or also known as the absolute PPP, the purchasing power of two currencies should be the same. Hence, the exchange rate should be a matter of finding the ratio of the two prices. Thus, if we divide the price of the pizza in US with the price of the pizza in Italy, we get the exchange rate for US dollars and euros. This means that each euro is equal to $1.10. Let's apply the purchasing power parity to Kosovo and Albania. If 10 candies in Kosovo cost €2 and the same 10 candies in Albania cost 260 lek, then the exchange rate would be €1 equals to 130 lek. Hence, no matter what currency we use, the purchasing power is the same in both countries. But what happens when prices of candies are not the same in Kosovo and in Albania? If the candies are cheaper in Kosovo, some people from Albania would come to Kosovo, convert the lek into euros in order to buy the candies with cheaper price. This new demand for euros would raise the value of the euro until average prices of goods are the same in each country when converted at the new exchange rate. But, can we buy the same amount of goods with our income everywhere around the world? Does the absolute PPP hold? Well, actually it does not. Here are some of the reasons why absolute PPP does not hold: non-tradable goods, transportation costs, and trade restrictions, imperfect information, etc. As we said earlier, when goods are traded, prices will become equal. However, there are non-tradable goods which cannot be imported or exported. So there are less of reasons for the prices to equalize. For instance, you cannot trade the price of public services such as water supply and local transportation, or the prices of hotel accommodation. The absolute purchasing power parity makes the assumption that taxes as most transportation costs do not exist, which is not true. So, because of the different transportation costs, prices will be different. Also, countries have different tariffs and taxes that prevent prices from equalizing across countries. The absolute purchasing power parity also assumes perfect information about what are goods prices in other markets. With perfect information, one would be able to export goods to the market with the high price, whereas import goods form the market with a low price. However, not everyone is informed and, hence, prices are different. Since absolute purchasing power parity does not look at reality, we now move on to the relative purchasing power parity. Relative PPP takes inflation into account. It does so by considering the relationship between the changes of the exchange rate and the changes of the prices ratio. Note that the price levels will increase if there is inflation. Therefore, the exchange rate is determined by the difference in the national price levels between the two countries. Let's take an example. Let's say that the current exchange rate is $1.10 per euro. Now, suppose that the inflation rate in US is predicted to be 5% in the upcoming year, while in Kosovo we predict 0% inflation rate. What would be the exchange rate in the upcoming year? If we expect US prices to increase by 5%, we calculate the following: 1.10 US dollars times 1.05 equals to 1.155 US dollars per 1 euro, which is the new exchange rate. Now, you need more US dollars to get 1 euro. Therefore, the US dollar is depreciating while the euro is appreciating. As a result, there is a reverse relationship between the national price levels and currency values. Where there is inflation, the value of the currency depreciates and vice versa. What if we expect Kosovo's inflation to be 3% in the upcoming year? Relative to the prices in Kosovo, prices in US are rising at a rate of 2%. So, the new exchange rate would be 1.10 US dollars times 1.02 equals to 1.122 US dollars per 1 euro. Therefore, the relative purchasing power parity examines the relative changes in price levels between two countries and maintain that exchange rates will change according to inflation. So, it is a better measure than the absolute purchasing power parity. Finally, why do we need a measure such as PPP? We need PPP to compare purchasing power of different countries' currencies. PPP currency rates are considered more accurate than market exchange rates. Market exchange rates tend to be influenced by other factors such as government interventions, different interest rates, speculation trading, and hedging. On the other hand, PPP rates are often difficult to determine because of differences in purchasing habits among the citizens of different countries, unequal quality of goods in those countries, and differences in each country's economies. But once the PPP rate is determined, it remains relatively constant over the long run. PPP is often used to make a more accurate comparison between two countries' GDPs than can be made when using market exchange rates. For example, let's look at country A and country B, where each of them produces the same amount of goods in a given year. Thus, the GDP should be the same for each country, but because country B manipulates its currency on the world market, its currency is artificially high when compared to country A's currency. It takes 3 country A's dollars to buy 1 country B's euro. So using the market exchange rates to compare GDP, it would look as country B's GDP were 3 times the size of the country A's GDP. When expressed in the same currency using the PPP exchange rate, it would eliminate this bias and would show that the GDP of each country is the same.
So please connect with me, friends. I hope that you have liked the video, and I'm also going to upload you more such videos in coming days. So basically, I would like to take your suggestions, your feedbacks, your inputs. So please connect with me, friends. This is my email ID: chandan sudeep07@gmail.com. You can write your suggestions here. You can send me any inputs you have on content or any other things. You can also take my support, any suggestion from my side if you are expecting something, any help you want. That also you can write it down here, friends. Also, this is my mobile number 935409517. You can connect straight away with me. You can talk to me if you any support if you want from my side, any suggestion if you want to give or you could want to take from me. You can straight away connect with me. Also, friends, this is my website takegreenstates.com, where I have posted some blogs based on energy and sustainability, all this about. So you can just go through the blogs. Also, I'm going to post more blogs in coming days, so you can connect with me on my website also. So please do connect with me, and please give any suggestions, any inputs if you have, and from your side, friends. And as far as the last and not the least, friends, please do subscribe my channel if you have not yet done. So this will help me, this will boost my morale to make more such videos for you, to support you in anyhow. So please do subscribe my channel, friends. Also please press the bell icon, because I'm going to post a lot of new videos in coming days. So automatically when I post in a new video, it will prompt you up, and you can just watch my videos and get take support, take help from those videos, friends. And also please share this video with your friends, colleagues, and whoever you concern, who you think that this video can help them in the coming examination or in coming years. So please do share the video to your friends or colleagues, and please be connected with me. So that's all for today, friends, and thanks a lot, friends.